Proceed with the countdown.
10,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2.
Time's up.
Shut up and take my money.
You can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Shut up and take my money.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Kamala, there's something different in your genes. Like a mutation.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from the capital city of the United States of America, Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
And salutations, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. Wow, the old school intros are back. Let's do it. 2023 is here, everyone. Holy cow, let's get to it. Talk hard. Yes, Ironcaster, my brother. Thanks for doing it. Here we go. Let's rock 2023, my friend. Hopefully you're doing all right.
Oh, we are doing just fantastic. And let me tell you, folks out there, if you thought 2022 had some good stuff, just wait. 2023 is coming. You ain't heard nothing yet.
You ain't heard nothing yet. So, yeah, we're having a good time, man. We've had a good holiday. We are rested. We're ready to go. I'll be trying to reset everything behind me in a rush state so I can get back to recording you guys some videos and talking about some cool stuff. Loki has a doc's appointment. He's hopefully going to be able to squeeze in with us here soon. But let's get to this chat. You guys are on fire. And let's start off with, the GOAT himself, Chris Persia, the Pops mod. He's, got Pop-O-Matics going. Hail to the triumvirate of talking hard, Pops, Loki, and Ironcaster. Yes, Chris Persia. Thank you so much. Being a member, being a mod, supporting me in just so many different ways. And also someone else who's just been on fire, man. A great friend, Whitechapel. Oh, love you, brother. Thank you so much. He sent me cards, sent him cards. Just we've been having a great time. Connecting and getting to know one another and just sharing our love. Louise Sparrow's here. Awesome, lady. Thank you so much for hopping in and spending time with us as well. Hopefully you're doing good. Let's see here. Claude also hopping in. Hey, Claude. Hopefully you're having a good evening. Good holidays, everyone. That kind of thing. There he is across the pond. The Machine. The Machine is here. Hey, Ryan, Roger, Athe, my friend. Oh, such good content, folks. Make sure you check out Ryan the Machine. It's just incredible. Yeah. The reality-based shows. He is just... He's on fire, man. He really, really is. So, Jacob Ironside, another brother from another mother, my friend. Oh, so good to see you. Happy 2023, my friend. I will be on with Jacob next week, actually. That is Tuesday night over on his channel. After Talk Hard at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be on with Jacob. We're going to be talking about some movies and have some fun, too. So, be sure to check that out. So, let's see here. Good stuff. When I see Ironcaster say that with a smile, I am worried, very worried. Yeah, he's been on Tubi a lot, folks, but I assure you, he can post his own Tubi reviews. I've encouraged him. I will say I have a Ironcaster schlock thumbnail ready for schlock nights together. He and I will do some schlock nights. We will let Loki have an excuse, an open door to join us for those, but they will be set aside. We don't have those set in stone yet, but we will do that. We'll go through some different schlock that's out there, that kind of thing. And then again, from the Great White North, another member. Again, thank you, Ryan, for being a member. Thank you, Zach, the Great White North, my friend. Happy holidays. Hopefully Christmas and New Year went well for all of you. It's been a blast for us. Florida, of course, had freezing weather for like 4 days. It was completely insane. And of course, Christmas Eve, that's when our baby pigs were born. So yeah, so we were out there freezing my cojones off for 4 hours with a pig delivering baby pigs. Great life experience. Not something I could say that I wanted to do in the cold. We'll have to better plan our scheduling a little bit better next time. So, but yes, let's get to 2023. Kind of a general conversation to start. We'll see where things lead. Ironcaster, you and I have been, I think, pretty brutally honest about our feelings with cinema. I will say there are a lot of good things. It's so much harder to find things. You're having to scrape through 5 to 10 terrible things to find something good. And then you're going through, I don't know how many dozens before you find something great. But as we go through that and we have survived 2022, we look at the slate for 2023. I will tell you, brother, I was very, very discouraged. You talk about just a long list of derivative, sequel, more of the same nonsense. I don't know. You got something you're like, so let's look at it this way. On like an 8, 9, and 10 is I'm going to go see it and probably pay for it. More like the middle, like the 5, 6, 7 is more like, I don't mind seeing it. I'm not going to go out of my way to see it in the theater unless I hear it's really good, but I will probably watch it when it lands on streaming. And the things that are 5 and below are like almost certainly not watching it. Maybe if it's on streaming, maybe I'll hate watch it or maybe something like that. And then there's going to be a few where like there's just no chance in HE double hockey sticks, which I heard someone say actually out loud, and I laughed because I'm like, you can't say the word hell. It's actually in the book. Like I don't really curse much, but come on. Anyway, so what's on your list? Give me something positive. Give something. Ironcaster is like, I am going to pay to see this in the theater. Give me something. Is there something? Oh, we have stuff going on in the background of the Ironcaster layer. Let me give you one that I will see that I don't think is on Ironcaster's radar screen. I don't know that any of you are into that kind of stuff. So before I come back to that, Nosferatu is bringing the insanity. Love you, brother. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to Pops, the international sex symbol. Yes, my friend. And across the pond, we got people from Canada. We got people from the UK representing. We've had people from all over. So I will wear that badge of honor the best I can as an old man like myself could. So thank you. Ironcaster, I'm going to throw out Oppenheimer. It's Christopher Nolan's next film. Practical reproduction of the A-bomb going off. Cillian Murphy as the lead. That is a theater experience for me. I got to be honest. That's one I will go see in a theater. I 100% will see that in a theater. I have one more, but I'll let you think. Is there something for you where like I will see that in a theater?
Well, I mean, just the Oppenheimer one, I find really interesting because that one, I'm not really sure how to feel about that. I mean, looking at it, it looks like it's definitely gonna have an audience for seeing it. I don't think it's gonna be a movie for just everyone. Like it's not everyone's not gonna go run out and see it. Like it's gonna be like this best movie of the year. I don't think it's gonna be like that. But I think it's definitely gonna have its audience, and I'm gonna be curious about how that one does. I really don't know how to feel about it because it's.
Well, Nolan's films is not always for mass audiences, right? I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, even some that are great, like even Memento, I don't think most people are like, I've watched it like 16 times like I have. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that. What's weird is he's releasing it in July. And I think that's where he's going to make his mistake. I think that's just way too soon in the year. This is a more of a heavier Oscar type film. He's thinking that he's going to go for some box office draw. Now, I didn't look at the schedule to see if he has a good run of 2 or 3 weeks, because that is kind of the key with box office. If you can land the right slot and get 2 or 3 weeks, you can easily make a few $100 million and get a good international buzz going. And I don't know. I don't look at it from a box office standpoint. I'm a honk for Christopher Nolan. I love the mythos that surrounds Oppenheimer and his famous quotes, World War II stuff, things like that. So yeah, I'm down with that one. But all right. What else you got? Another one though, or what are your thoughts on this?
I was going to say real quick, just with the timing of that release, it's going up. It's going to be up right around the same time as Mission Impossible.
That's a death nail. Yeah, that's a death nail. Going against Mission Impossible right now is a death nail. I don't know. I'm gonna look up when MI opens. Do you have another? Is Mission Impossible an absolute for you?
I mean, actually, that's a really good one to pivot to, because after Top Gun Maverick, like Tom Cruise, like put himself way back up the list in terms of the action movie stars. And while I don't think I've actually really watched any of the other Mission Impossibles, I'm kind of tempted to go see this new one just because of how much I enjoyed Top Gun. I think, and with all the buzz people are giving about that new Top Gun, I think that's definitely going to be, or the new Mission Impossible, I think that's definitely going to be a draw. I think that's going to be one of the big movies of the year.
All right, so let me say this. I find the Mission Impossible films. I'm gonna re-review almost all. I think I have all of them, so I'm gonna do a review on all of them. I can tell you this: I love the first one more than I should, because I came out of the theater very conflicted because it made the one character the villain, and I did not like that at all. But the film has grown on me. I can tolerate it. I don't really care for 2 and 3 as much as a lot of people do. 2, I think, is the weakest one. 3, people like the 3. I'm not so much. But once you get to Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and Fallout, they're freaking great, man. I'm telling you. He does his own stunts. Henry Cavill is in one. I'm telling you, man, once you get to Ghost Protocol, you don't have to watch them in order. They're standalone. But I think once you get to Ghost Protocol, you're gonna see the stuff start to click, and then they hand the keys over to Christopher McQuarrie, who is a great filmmaker. That was definitely on my must watch too, is MI. And MI comes out the week before Oppenheimer. So I think that, again, so what you were saying earlier, like that's a death nail for Oppenheimer being there. Like, I don't know why he needs to move that film. The film needs to go to November. It needs Thanksgiving. Look at Thanksgiving or something like that. He would do better.
Or even if he could push it back like a week or maybe, probably 1 week. You
don't want to go too far because you don't want to get too close once people go back to school. So, but
the other thing is, like, I think he's going up against like whatever Marvel has that week. So that's just gonna be the automatic like sucking away from whatever was that week. So if he can drop it the week before, that might work out.
This is the problem with summer movies. I don't know which summer movie. I don't know. I could care so less about Marvel. Let's acknowledge that Ryan's still listening. He's lurking, so we'll keep an eye on him. He's making 19 thumbnails for suggestion videos. You go, brother. I was making thumbnails today too on most of my breaks. So I can relate to that. So let's see here. Oh, Bobby's here. Hey, brother. I hope you're doing well. Only thing right now I'm looking forward to seeing it is John Wick, Mission Impossible 76, maybe Transformers Rise of the Beast. Okay, listen, I'm with you, man. John Wick 4, Mission Impossible, Oppenheimer. How do you feel about the John Wick films? They're kind of a guilty pleasure for me. I don't really like them, but I also can have fun with them. Like, I just, you know what I mean?
They just have to be fun. They just have to be fun action movies, and I think that's all you really need. Actually, I got a funny story with I think it was the second one. So there's a scene where John Wick where basically the call has been put out, and so all the assassins are like getting calls to put out a hit on John Wick. And as it's like he's walking through a building or something, and you see the camera panning as all these other assassins that are just kind of there in their day-to-day lives start getting the text. It's like boom, 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 boom. Out of nowhere, my phone starts going off. Like, wait, I'm in a 4D movie. What? Oh God, I got the call.
He's going to be called into the Continental, like Ironcaster. Wouldn't anybody be surprised Ironcaster turned out to be a hitman? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised by that at all. Nas made me laugh because he said, obviously, they are doing a Nosferatu remake, which is Robert Eggers' film.
Really?
And I will say this, Nas, I'm not going to say that's a must see for me in a theater, but that's a must see for me when it drops on streaming for sure, and a very strong maybe. Nicholas Hoult, Bill Skarsgård, Johnny Depp's daughter Lily is in it. He probably knows who else is in it or who else is attached to it. But yeah, I'm kind of down for seeing it some way. I'm not sure that's a theater win for me. So, but I think John Wick, Mission Impossible for sure. Oppenheimer is on my theater list. And my fourth one, which I was surprised, but I will say this, I don't care for the first one as much as a lot of people do. I want to see Dune 2. I don't know what it's called. The Dune sequel in a theater, because it's such a cinematically beautiful film the first time around. I want to see what they do with it. I'm not a huge fan of that franchise or the books or anything like that, but I think that's the only way I can fairly judge and critique that film. It's not on my phone. I need to watch that, not on a laptop. I need to watch that in a cinema. So
yes, I am there for Dune. I will be there. I will be there like opening night with my popcorn at the IMAX. Like, I'm a fan of the novels. I like the material. It's definitely on my radar. This is one I was like, I'll be at work listening to the audiobook and just kind of like listening to, like, put your hand in the box. What's in there? Pain.
I can't. See, this is what so here's what we have to do with Ironcasters. We have to keep putting pressure on Ironcaster to start making content with the amount of things that he consumes, because he consumes these great, interesting things. So when he walks out of that theater from someone who loves Dune, he just needs to record and just talk about it. Well, go watch Latino Slant, do these, real timers, and just talk to everyone will love you for it, man. I'm telling you. Darius Munchausen is here, my brother. Hey, listen, if you want to see something, you got a must see. We're talking must sees right now. Hit me up, man. Let's see. And Chris Burgess confirming some of our details we came up with. Their Oppenheimers 9 days after Mission Impossible, and after everything cruised to the past year, Part 7 will be huge. I couldn't agree more. And actually, the Mission Impossible films have been really good since Ghost Protocol. And I'm not totally bagging on the first three. I'm just saying, since Rogue Nation, and then you have this since the Ghost Protocol stuff, man, it really has been good. Padawannabe here, the GOAT himself, as weird as a guy as Tom Cruise is, I do enjoy his movies. I'm having conflicting feelings about this. Oh, well, listen, if you have watched those more recent Mission Impossible films, I don't think there's any reason to believe they're going to be less than those. So I expected to love MI2 and didn't. Yeah, I'm with you, Zax. I love the music and the motorcycle fight scene, and that's kind of it for me. I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, didn't do it for me. Nas is called the Ninja of Necrosis. That's freaking great. That should be a shirt, Nas. You need a shirt with the silhouette of Nosferatu and just Ninja of Necrosis, and that would be a freaking great shirt, bro. Anything else that's on the must list that you guys got? Like, I can't wait. I want to see this in a theater. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, one of the movies that I'm looking forward to that is really avoiding a lot of people's radars, and that's just because I love the actor so much, is Renfield, that Nicolas Cage movie where he's playing Dracula.
Okay, well, that's you. That's a streamer for me, but I can we're gonna have Nick Cage night in a couple weeks. So our theme the rest of this month for you guys, just heads up, is Talk Hard will be birthday salute stuff. So we'll be doing some actor profiles the rest of the month. We couldn't really pin down a couple of little details in particular, so we said, you know what, we're gonna do J.K. Simmons, Betty White, Nick Cage, and Christian Bale. So you've got a whole slew of just amazing resumes and stories and films to talk to. And by the way, if you please hit me up if you have certain films you definitely want me to make sure I rewatch, because it's almost likely I'll do a review, because that's kind of where I'm at on things. And I'm with you, Nos. I think Eggers is going to do a good justice to the previous work, and that's why I'm willing to give it a fair shake. I don't know that I'll see it in a theater, but if it gets a lot of great reviews and stuff, I'm sad that I couldn't figure out how to get to see Violent Night in the theater in time. So I wish I had. I would love to see it again and see it in a theater. Here's my money. Take my money. Padawannabe, I really couldn't agree more. John Wick films are fantastic, but there's still always a time or two when Ted pops out of the word of the line of the movie. Never fails. Always see a whoa moment from Keanu Reeves. Yeah, there's these moments. Yeah, he has these facial expressions and stuff. It's just, it's also just this sense of just absurdity especially in the third one for me. I was shocked that they had greenlit 4 and 5, but at this point now, the franchise is really alive. Like it really is a good franchise right now. So, and I got to be honest, if I'm going to give it a fair shake, I probably need to see it in the theater, right? Let's just be honest, right? So, the caster slant. Oh, that's so good. Caster slant. I mean, yeah, maybe. I just think Ironcaster live, and then just whatever he's going to talk about. It just doesn't matter what he talks about. Just Ironcaster live. Ironcaster is such a cool name.
I'll just call it live casting.
No. Ironcaster live. No. So, all right. Nothing has topped Ghostbusters 2016 Last Jedi in terms of pure entertainment value. Well, just from a hate watch standpoint, just pure. What on earth is happening? I got to be honest. I have not been able to bring myself to even watch any of the sequel films again. That's just come up multiple times in the last 6 months. I don't know when I will. I just talking to my son about this too, because we're talking about watching something. And I said, I have zero desire right now. I can tell you that I can watch some of Ghostbusters 2016 and just cringe and laugh at it. I don't think I can emotionally handle the pain of the sequel trilogies. So.
There was one what I thought was one good joke in Ghostbusters 2016. I've only seen it the one time, but it sticks in my mind. It was Chris Hemsworth, and he's playing the kind of the himbo character.
Yep.
And he's doing the headshots, and he's looking at him with the two, like, which makes me look smarter. Me with the saxophone, or me listening to the saxophone or something like that. It was just like, It was dumb enough that it worked. So, like I said, I gave them credit for at least having one good joke, but the rest of the movie is trash.
It's just one of those things where it's like, to me, it's almost like the same thing with we were talking about, like the 2B schlock. Like it's just such crap that it's just more like that's kind of how I look at it and treat it. Mike is here, Pacific 414, my brother. Oh, it's awesome, man. Good to see you, my friend. That is an amazing shirt idea. You guys need to get on this. I'm telling you what, you guys, that's a great, just because I think the Nosferatu, you can kind of do some sort of like silhouette type thing to get the effect and then just have that phrase. That's a freaking great idea. I'm telling you. You know, Whitechapel, this is a funny, I got caught between a rock and a hard place because they sent me a screener and I don't want to go. And then I literally got a digital copy and I'm like, crap. I'm going to like pick the people off if I review it too soon because the screener's not for a day or two, but I already have it and I'm like, crap. But I haven't watched it yet. I'm all down with modern horror right now. Spoiler alert on good films. There's a film called The Menu. It just dropped on HBO Max. And I'd heard this was good from a couple people. I just hadn't gotten to it. Movie is freaking great. And I already love movies like Black Phone. I've heard Smile is great. Nope is fine. The Menu is freaking a great film. I'm not gonna say it's a horror film. It's more like a thriller film. It's more like a suspense. Really great film. So I wish went to the theater for that Gundam movie last year. Okay. I don't know which one that one is.
I'm trying to place which Gundam movie it would have been because there's a couple. Either way, I mean, we're talking about
more to go on there, DJ Ronnie. Thanks for being here.
So there's a number of it could have been.
Padawannabe, if you want to spend the money, man, get out there and do it, man. If you're going to see it, you might as well just go for the whole effect. I've long said they're not getting 4 hours of my life. I'm just not doing it. Not happening. Let's see. Nick Cage is extremely hit and miss. Yes, mostly because Mandy was pretty awesome, which was surprising. Yeah, it was funny. I'm working on the Nicolas Cage thumbnail. That was not done yet, and it's because I try to figure out where to put the Mandy image into the thumbnail because it's such a distracting image of him in his face. So, and I said colon. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will. I'll say it again. I don't care.
You said colon.
Well, I don't know if he's mentioned Meg 2. Is Meg 2 on your list, Ironcaster? I have to admit, I like Meg 1. It's a guilty pleasure movie for me. Like it's one of those like 5s or 6s that I can sit through again and again and again. So I'd be down with Meg 2.
I actually haven't watched any. There's a lot of the big shark movies I haven't watched. I mean, look, I've seen Jaws, but I haven't watched the Meg. I haven't watched like what was the Samuel L. Jackson one? It's like I when it comes to like the shark schlock, I want the like sci-fi channel movie.
Yeah, he wants it way worse than Meg 2. Meg 2 is more like actually fun. I got to be honest. This is one of the reasons I wish that Ironcaster and I were not separated by like 1,200 miles. seeing the Meg in the theater with Ironcaster with all of the shark stuff. Now that is something you guys would love to like us EFAPing. You know what? That's a good idea for a talk hard. We should do Meg. We should do Meg. We'll get with Loki and try to work out Meg before Meg 2. Because I don't have a review on my channel. I was doing like normal press for Meg. And my wife and I we saw the screen. We had a good time. It's just dumb. It's just dumb fun shark stuff. There's so many contrivances and stuff like that. So, all right. So here's one for Ironcaster. I want to get your thoughts because I'm not a game person and I have zero desire to see it. What about Mario?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's definitely on my list. That is going to be a movie. That's going to be one I'm seeing in the movie theater. The casting of Jack Black as Bowser is inspired casting, I think. He's got the voice. Well, his voice isn't quite what I would have gone for because when I think of the King of the Koopas from Bowser, I'm thinking of this more gruff voice, like it should have a bit of gravel to it, but Jack Black works.
Jack Black can do voices though, unlike most Hollywood people who get plugged into this nonsense because we have like the death of the voice actors. Jack Black actually can do characters, like so. I have to give Jack Black a chance. The other person that can actually do that too, by the way, which I don't think he's good for Bowser, but he would be a good, the voice actor who's actually a celebrity is Zach Galifianakis. He actually can do character voices, so he actually can pull that kind of crap off. So it's not necessarily good for Bowser, but my point is there are a few actors, so I'd give Jack Black a fair pass on at least trying and see what happens. So,
like, I'm not saying I'm ready. I'm not saying I'm writing him off. I'm just saying it wasn't my first casting choice. I like what he did. I think Charlie Day as Luigi is a really good idea.
Where are you at on seeing Mario in the theater? Like pretty much right away?
Oh yeah, that I'm going right away, like the weekend of to see it.
If it does well, does that get Zelda made?
According to WDW Pro, he was saying that it looks like they might be seeking to fast track a Zelda movie if this does incredibly well. If this Mario movie can hit around $1 billion, I would not be surprised at all.
No, if this movie hits $1 billion, we're going to get Zelda and Metroid and possibly Mario 2. Like there's not even $1 billion. No, but if it gets to 500 to 750, I think we could still get Zelda. Because Zelda is a prop. It's almost like you can build on the Mario franchise by having these sort of like connected theme, not necessarily the same universe, just the idea of this sort of themed product. Zelda would be an easy gift for. I can see that. Trust me. Again, Fantasy Pops the studio, Fantasyland. Mario makes 500, yellow light, 750, total green light. $1 billion, you're getting Metroid 2 and a Mario 2. Like totally, like okay, we're going all in. People want this stuff. So, Cocaine Bear. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that just on the subject of Nintendo and Mario, if this Mario movie does as well as is as well received as say the Sonic movie was received,
right?
Then we're in a place where Disney's really taking some hits because they are really on the outs with their animation.
Oh, they're dead. We could do a whole stream, and I may end up just doing a whole video on this. The problem is right now I'm just biting off so much that I can chew. If you have a stream, you guys want to do a stream, somebody out there, you want to invite me, we can kind of dive into this death of this all. Because Disney has devoted so much time and attention to Star Wars and then Marvel that they've just kind of like ignored all of their animation goals, and other than like adapting stuff for live action, which has turned into a complete disaster. Pinocchio Disney is by far the worst movie of the year for me last year. It's a husk of a film. There's nothing redeemable about that film. Their animation's a joke. Like no one has seen Lightyear, no one has seen Strange World. This stuff is a complete bomb. I don't remember being this bad. Maybe the Chicken Little era. There's a couple of films in there that bombed this bad, even though I don't think Chicken Little's a bad film. I think she thought it was okay. But the like Brother Bear era is when it like went off the edge of the cliff, cost everyone their jobs. Yeah. All right, so Cocaine Bear. Listen, Cocaine Bear is a must-see for me on streaming. I don't know if I'll go to a theater. I do see the appeal of wanting to see that film. So I'm with you on that, Chris. Let's see. An amazing line that has become prophetic from one of the Star Wars games is apathy is death. Oh, absolutely. And that's how I feel about Star Wars going forward. Now, I don't care which is worse than hating. Yeah. I I will be honest. I'm not giving anyone a nickel. Disney's not getting a nickel from me. They're totally on not. So I have press access to do stuff. I can review stuff for free. I may even do a hate review because I just know way I'm going to like Strange World. Trust me, you can read that pitch to me any way you want. There's no way I believe there's anything redeemable about Strange World. I may actually do a watch just because I want to give everyone an honest breakdown of what's actually in the film. But I couldn't bring myself to watch Lightyear because I love Toy Story too much. It was too painful. Like I just can't do it. And that's kind of how I feel about Star Wars. I just can't do that part. So,
I mean, people
sharks on jet skis is a work of art. What is that? Is that the little clip that we played?
I would say he's making that up, but given how many terrible shark movies there are, I almost believe that's a natural movie.
Is there a shark on jet skis? Man. My wife asked about like the hate watching thing. Like, has it become like a thing? We don't really have like a fundraising, super chat fundraisers for me to watch some of these things. So until we do, I'm not watching some of those things. They're bad. Sharks of the Corn is so bad. Oh my gosh. Bro, I'm telling you, man, it is perfect bad. I couldn't make it through. I gave Ironcaster as much as I could. I lasted way longer than he did. I lasted way longer than he did. Just for the record, he didn't. He. I mean, I told him I would try, and I lasted, I think, 40 minutes, I think just under an hour. There's a scene where it's like a dude and his wife, and it's like their little kid. She's like 9. They dress them like they're all mafioso, and she has some sort of curse word line, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I'm out. It's just bad.
I made it to about the point. I made it to about the point in that movie where the guy is with the hooker at the end at the
right. She plays 2 characters, and I was like confused. I'm like, wait a minute, is she the whore, or is she this other? Like, she plays 2 different characters in the movie, and it was so confusing. And I'm like, and then that's a scene too where he kills her, but he like grunts at her. She's talking to him, and he just goes, ugh. And she says something else, and he just goes, I don't know. What is happening? Like, this is not even like film festival bad. This is like so bad we wouldn't put your thing in film festivals. It's so bad. And I said, to their credit, though, they marketed that beautiful poster to somehow get this on Tubi. How many people have been suckered into watching a few minutes of this movie? It's crazy to me.
Well, I can't say I have one more shark movie that is, to be fair, better than that. Sharkula.
Yeah, you told me you watched Sharkula. I can't do Sharkula. Sharkula's not gonna make my list anytime soon. Okay, for the right price. Yeah.
Dracula got eaten by a shark.
Okay, the premise is actually comedic, and if it was comedic, I'm okay with it. See, I could write a graphic novel of like Sharkula. I could write something that would be fun, right? But I don't know about a film because you have certain elements that's like there's just no way you're gonna pull this off. But, okay, so this is an Everbright event. That must be the Gundam film that he saw.
Oh,
and
probably.
He says probably the Hathaway movie. So if that helps you locate it. So.
Oh yeah, I know the one he's talking about now. Yeah, that one was interesting. I think they then just released it on. It also then just got like released on Netflix around the same time, so it got out there.
Deep Blue Sea, I believe, is your shark movie that was involved with Samuel L. Jackson. I think that's what they're referring to there. So. Hyper intelligent Mako sharks. Yes. Apollonie's minion. Hey, lady. One of my menus. And great. Oh, just we want to go over her channel, man. Just get a break, man. Just watch Simi just hanging out, meatloafing, mercatting. Oh, just searching for grasshoppers. I love the dog so much. So. Star Trek Beyond still coming out this year. Oh, jeez. Guys are trolling. It's great. Nintendo versus Sega for movies.
God, there's so much you could do. I want Metroid versus Vector Man.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, Ryan. So here's my strategy, Ryan. I started going to the PowerPoint mechanism thanks to the Flaccid. So I have like templates now. So it's a lot of just plugging and playing. It makes it a little bit faster. And that's kind of how I just approach it. So I don't really actually put a lot of thought and evaluation into them. So this month's ones with Talk Hard, where I'm like doing these actors, that's way more time consuming than a normal thumbnail for me. So and legitimately wants to see Cocaine Bear, Ray Liotta going to scream is that that's all the money we had in the bear. Yeah, it's funny. His last film, so that's part of it. No, when it drops on streaming, I will 100% see it. I just don't have enough time, flexibility to probably see that in the theater. So, Keegan Michael Key, he can do a variety of voices. That's a very good point too. A great addition to my little short list of actual actors who can actually do characters and voices and things like that. The irony is, if Jim Carrey wasn't such a screwball and probably wouldn't require so much money, he actually can do voices. The sad thing is, all of his voice roles, it's just him talking. It's just like him not actually being a character. It's so lame for me. So, and this is Mario versus Sonic, for example, is Ryan's world. So,
I can only imagine how great that would be to get.
So Louise is saying that she still plans to watch A Strange World. It's really as bad as everyone is just indifferent to it. So because I've heard from people who I actually do trust, they've confirmed what I thought. But yeah, if you see it, let me know. I definitely will watch it at some point when I have a chance. So Whitechapel's calling for a Mega Man movie.
Yes.
Universal Monster Sharks, the Trocula. The Sharkula trilogy of monster, Frankenshark, Wolf Shark, Sharkula,
the creature from the Shark Lagoon.
We're on it now. We got it. And then of course there is a Santa Jaws. Yeah, Santa Jaws has come up more than once. Yeah, there was talk that they were going to try to figure out how. Again, if you guys don't super chat it, I'm not watching Santa Jaws. I'm not.
By the way, the poster for it is a shark with a red laser eye and a Santa hat on the fin.
It's just insane to me. Anyway,
Santa shark do.
Oh, it's just terrible, man. Yep. So let me ask a question. Let me ask a question about Guardians, because you were talking about being off the Marvel train, pretty much.
Yeah.
Where are you at on Guardians? Because that's probably the one that I'm the most iffy on.
I mean, I could kind of take or leave it. The problem is, going into it, I know that the cast are all basically done. So on the one hand, it might be worth going to see kind of their farewell. But it's also at the same time also being used to like try to set up whatever the next movies are for Marvel, for Phase 5, Phase 6, whatever Phase 23 we're on.
Yeah, good point. Gray from Wakazashi Tea House, also a member. Thank you, Gray. Hail to you in Japan. Happy 2023. Yes, my friend. So all they want is freaking sharks with freaking lasers on their head, man. Padawannabe. Yes. So I was like, freaking bone. I was sort of must see with Guardians until the trailer footage came out, and the trailer looked so crappy to me that I'm like not gonna see it. And people will have to say it's really good for me to want to see it in a theater at this point. I will almost certainly be able to just get a copy and review. I may get a review copy actually of it. But it's not, I don't hold it in high regard at this point. Different reasons, just don't. So,
well, you know what Guardians movie I do want to see this year that I think I'm going to have to see? Guardians of the Dungeon, aka the Dungeon Dragons movie.
Oh yeah, that's all you, man. Oh. I couldn't do it. Well, it looked. We did a breakdown of this trailer when it dropped at San Diego Comic-Con, and I was so turned off by it. I know you guys were really analyzing some of the interesting, like, Easter egg stuff. I don't know. Chris Pine. Oh, I'm so over Chris Pine. Oh, yeah.
The other unfortunate thing is the poster they're using, the less popular poster, or rather there was another poster they had put out as like a preview, but that was like way more popular, that used stolen assets. So it's like the one poster people actually liked that had the stylized Anne from Dungeons and Dragons. It's using monster art from other companies that Wizards of the Coast doesn't own. So it's really unfortunate that we're not getting a like genuinely good creative poster for it. But yeah, it's gonna be something that I'm gonna have to be talking about in a few streams. This movie I have to see.
Craven the Hunter, is mentioned. Bobby mentions that. I don't know if it's got a firm 2023 date yet, though. So kind of keep your finger on that one as a maybe. I don't know if it's even going to drop or not. Here's Luis's take on the D&D. Probably give it a go. Fair enough. Okay. Let's see.
Well, which is why
I'm with you, Chris. We've talked about this one before. That's so freaking great. That the Renault commercial just took me back. Actually, I think you brought that up, or someone brought that up. We watched it, and then within like a day or two of that, I watched like 4 episodes. I think they're on YouTube. I think I found 4 episodes for free on like YouTube had them or something like that. So yeah. And Krampus Jeebus is in the house. Hey, buddy. I hope you've done all right, my friend. Okay, so we're both mixed on Guardians. I'm leaning, towards a free version. What about things like I've lost all interest in seeing Indiana Jones 5. I've lost all interest in seeing Ant-Man. I've lost really the other Marvel. I just don't have any. I mean, I'll get screener stuff for them, so you'll get a review, guys, but I'm not giving them a nickel of my money, and I don't really care when I see it. Like if I miss it early or what, I don't care. It doesn't I don't know what's happened. It's the things I love the most are dead, and I don't know what to do about that.
Well, I mean, one of the things I think you can see a lot more people doing is to fill that void. They're going to be going to the backlogs, the back catalogs of stuff they had never seen. And one of the movies I really want to point out to people to watch is an older one that is now public domain. And that's the original Metropolis. That's Metropolis, the 1927 sci-fi epic.
He should do a video, shouldn't he, folks? He should do a video because he sent all these messages on our little our DM about some of the things that dropped. We had public domain day a couple days ago, so yeah, Metropolis is on that list. So. And thank you for queuing my new series that I'll be starting hopefully as early as this week. I'm going to do Throwback Thursdays where I talk about an old film. Maybe super old, maybe kind of old, hopefully films that you may not have seen, or at least hopefully you will find something that'll tell you it's good. Bobby's also bringing up Equalizer 3. I will tell you this, that will be one I would definitely watch on when it hits streaming. Don't think I'll see it in a theater. Again, might get a teaser for it or something like that I can do for you guys. But yeah, Metropolis is a freaking great film. Like just a groundbreaking film. It's hard to believe when it was made. Like it really is a pinnacle, whatever. So, they're saying Craven has an October 6th date. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know that was confirmed, I guess is what I was trying to get at earlier. I know that it had been talked about, but I didn't know for sure. So, but what about you on with things like Indiana Jones and stuff like that? You got much of a desire? Uh-oh, I'm not hearing you. Can everyone else hear you? You're muted.
No, I muted myself.
Okay.
The problem is like there's been so much of the leaks and that coming out from Indiana Jones. It's really tough to get excited for that one just based on all the ways it sounds like they're gonna destroy the character. It's no, especially like who wants to watch 80-year-old Indiana Jones? Is this something anyone wants to really see?
I just don't have any faith. Literally, the only reason that I would even, again, if I get a screener or something like that, is James Mangold, the director. I like James Mangold. Now, has he talked crazy talk? Has he insulted? Yeah, he's done all those things. So, like, my desire has gone in the dumpster, and I don't have any desire. They've ruined it for me. So,
didn't he go and like have a meltdown and start like attacking fans like on day one of filming? Yes, he did. He did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Dempsey is here. Hey there, brother. Talk about a great content. Awesome, great stuff for Dempsey. Padawannabe, you do not need to worry about what you have because this dude owns Claremont X-Men. There is no chance that I will ever lose interest in Claremont X-Men. Claremont X-Men is, and literally the GOAT stuff. So Gray, yeah, absolutely, Gray. Let me hit you up with a link. Yeah, because Loki's got a doctor's appointment. Let me hit you. Gray can come in the house. Oh man, absolutely, Gray. I mean, I'll get it over to you, bro. So, what about like another one I wrote down is like I watch right away if I get a screener or when it drops on stream will be Creed. Have you watched the Creed films?
I have not.
They're very well made.
It's been something I've just kind of avoided just because like they've kind of never really been on my the Rocky series has never really been on my radar, so I don't really have any connection to it all. I mean, I like Rocky 4.
No, they're fun. I mean, listen, there's something to me. I grew up with it, so for me, it's very nostalgic and whatever. But I will say this: they're very well made. Like the premise and stuff and all that, and I got the derivative nature of it all. But yeah, I don't know. So, but yeah, Gray's off work, so we'll send it over to him. But no, Padawannabe, you do not need to worry about me ever losing interest in Claremont X-Men. And we definitely need to schedule a time where you can be on with me and let's just talk about some of that stuff because that's I know it's not the golden age by the definition of comic. It's the next. It's the special stuff in the X-Men lore. It really, really is. So.
I'm looking. So this year I'll be by Friday, the Friday stream I do the comic shop stream with like 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser and Clobber and Towns.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm getting them to delve into a bit of the Claremont X-Men, so it'll be like a first for I think Nick Weiser. He's never really delved into the actual.
Oh,
comics.
Really? Oh my gosh! Days of Future Past, Phoenix Saga. Oh my gosh! There's the 9 issues of Dark Phoenix Saga are so rich. There's so much going on. It's so incredible. New characters, betrayal. Oh man, it's incredible. So, yeah. So we have mixed on Creed. Nas is like Love 1. Creed 1 good, 2 underwhelming. I get that analysis. Fair enough. And then Padawannabe saying they're very good. A different level than Rocky, but got the point. Yeah, no, I'm with you too. No, Rocky 1 is in a different class than all of the rest of it, and then we can kind of pick and choose what we like and don't like from there. And then, of course, yeah, Dempsey's like down with the yeah, of course. So, and I'm doing a stream on. I'm doing I'm appearing with Roman of the Empire on Thursday evening. That is 8:00 p.m. Eastern time. Talking about comic books, some of these epic, pivotal books, these kind of certain type of classics. I'll be on with them talking about certain ones, things like that. So if you're a fan or know the over to Roman Empire, yeah. So I think I sent the link to Gray. Gray, check it out. Make sure I got it to you right. Gray can come up here and join us. So let's see. And Padawannabe says some of the best art of all time in this comic. Yeah, there is some really good stuff. So all right, here's across the pond as well, the international program that we are bringing in Gray from Japan live. Happy New Year, my brother.
Hey, Happy New Year. How are you doing?
We're doing it. Let's do it. We're getting off to a good start. We're talking about 23, talking about some of the movies that we're looking forward to, some of the things we're not looking forward to. Gray, do you have a movie or two that you're like, I really, really want to see this?
If June, sorry, we say June in England. Dune. If Dune is coming out, part 2, I really want to see that.
Yeah,
that's about it, Pops. And Ironcaster, I don't know. I can't think of much else.
Yeah, I think our short list of must was like Oppenheimer, the Mission Impossible film, and in theaters like John Wick, just because of the experience of a theater versus a non-theater experience for a film like that. That was really those are the top of the list. Ironcaster added on his, I believe, Mario and D&D were the two that you added on top of that.
Okay,
so fair enough.
I don't know if I don't think the D&D movie is going to be great, but it's one that I need to see just because I've been in so much of the RPG realm lately that there's no way I can avoid not talking about that movie on YouTube. It's just like, hey, you're surrounding yourself with D20s. Why aren't you seeing the D&D movie? And I'm like,
well, I heard a reviewer doing their top 10 list, and they're 11. They didn't put it on the top 10. They said it would be on my list. I have to admit it's not that great of a film, but it was made for me. So it's like a genre film for me, right? So that's kind of what those films are for you. They're for Ironcaster. They're for you. So even if they're not great, you can still have an enjoyable time. That's cool. So
I'm curious to see that as well, guys. Yeah, I am, definitely. I hope it's good, Ironcaster. You never know. It might be. It might be like, pulpy fun.
It certainly might be. I mean, it's not the route I would quite go with it, because I would want, my idea would be to have effectively kind of, it starts with like the actors sitting around a table as sort of like regular people playing the game, and then we transition into the actual world of like playing a game of D&D. It's like,
see, that could work, because with my Chris Pine problem, it could be someone who doesn't really want to play, or they got duped into playing, or not taking it seriously. So for me, if I'm a character in your movie and I'm in that scene, I would be like playing as Chris Pine, because it would be something I wouldn't treat as legitimately. You know what I mean? That would be that would fit. Like I can make that work then. But to have me taking him serious is like, We were talking about Creed 3, and that's why some of the talk in the chat is about Creed films, and then the Rocky films and that kind of thing. Gray, any desire for things like Guardians 3, Indiana Jones 5, Ant-Man, any of this kind of stuff? Is there any of that left in you? And you got anything in the tank? Where you're like, I got it.
I'm the foolish optimist. I've been burned before and I'll be burned again. But I'm one of those rare people who enjoyed the Guardians Christmas special, the holiday special. I had a great time with that.
I did too.
Okay, I didn't know.
I had my issues with it, but did you see the trailer for the third film?
I have seen it only once, and I can't remember, to be honest. Can't remember what was in it. So unmemorable trailer.
I didn't care for the Zootopia look of some of the characters, and then whatever they were trying to do with Adam Warlock to me looked like abysmal. Bad. I don't know. I don't know. With Ironcaster 2, contracts are expiring. James Gunn is leaving. I don't know what to expect, and I've come off my must see to a sort of like lukewarm feeling about it all. That's all. So. Yes, I understand, Dempsey. That's kind of I think Dempsey's hitting the consensus. Everyone feels like we want it to be good. We want to have fun, but none of us have faith. Like we're all just like, skeptical is like at an 11 right now.
I really think James Gunn is be able to knock it out of the park. I'm not saying he's gonna be bad. He's gonna make a bad movie. In fact, I have complete faith that James Gunn is gonna make a good movie. I just kind of feeling kind of ambivalent about seeing the movie altogether.
Gotcha. Keely Chow is here. Hey to Keely Chow. He's hanging out with us. Awesome. Happy New Year to you, my friend. And David also hanging out with us. Hey, brother. Hope you're doing all right. Let's see. Why just tell the Temple of the Elemental Evil tale or something? Why not make a new story or some established good ones? D&D nerds like me would pay to see done well. Yeah, no. I mean, I think that, again, this should be a softball. This should be a T-ball. It's like it just should be such an easy franchise, especially because there's so many people who love the concept of how things were handled with the cartoon. Like, I understand the cartoon is super cheesy, but there's certain elements of why fans liked it. Really, that's all there's to it. So look at this. He's got his youthful look at this. They're giving you some love there, Gray, on how youthful Japan is to you. You look all good.
Just woken up, guys. I'm not shaved yet. I'm still feeling a bit, post Christmas, post New Year celebrations.
Yeah. Lots of love. Let's see, Ginger Ninja in the house. Hey, brother. Look at this international flavor we got going on over here. Shield Wall of Dragons in the house. Oh, hey, brother. Hope you're doing all right. I see Machine is still hanging out with us. Everyone's giving love.
So you start talking about the D&D movie. We're bringing all these dragons. And...
Shield Wall.
Hey, listen, we'll take it. He's talking about there's a fat dragon in it. It got to at least be some fun. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. D&D cartoon was so epic. Yeah, and Chris dropped earlier that reference to that Renault commercial, which you can find on YouTube, which is this incredible adaptation type stuff. So.
We got that in the UK as well. I enjoyed it as a kid. Yeah, you look back now, it's a bit cheesy, but I had a great time with the D&D cartoon.
Yeah, we watched that Renault commercial, and then I went back and watched 3 or 4 episodes of the cartoon, and they were cheesy, but I had fun. I just kind of had them on. I was working or doing something else. It was fun. It was okay. So let me ask about some of the TV shows. Again, all of the same problem for me. It's all of the Disney stuff. Loki 2, Secret Invasion. It's like the Star Wars stuff, like Ahsoka and Mando. It's like I'm just very meh on everything. I'm not saying I'm against it. I just like meh, whatever. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure I've been faithfully hate watching because that's sadly what it's turned into. Even though I will say, I had a friend who like messaged me over the holidays about how much he loved Andor, and I'm like, if it were edited down to 6 episodes, I would love the show so much more. That's pretty much my take on it. So he did not converse with me too long after that. So I don't know, whatever. Oh man, Dempsey, this is true. 8.99 has already been canceled. I thought 18.99 was rocking and rolling. I've only heard positive things.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 3 seasons. That's what they signed for.
Huh. Okay. Wow. I did not know. I didn't hear that. I mean, I'm not really plugged in right now. I'm literally off vacation. Like we were running around like crazy even yesterday. So I'm not totally plugged into stuff. So
I just pulled up the Wikipedia article for it. It says, let's see, they received mostly positive reviews, praise for its casting, cinematography, acting. The creators had ideas for 2 more seasons, but in January it was canceled.
that's brutal to hear. I had not heard that. Louise asked the ultimate.
It?
I didn't know why I'm still behind. I don't want to watch it till I get caught up on Yellowstone. I don't want to get all whacked out and get all the things out of order. So, Louise, that is the question. I don't know that so if you guys don't know, I still do Saturday morning cartoons with Pops. So we're doing X-Men animated and Batman animated. They drop at 9 and 9:30 Eastern every Saturday morning. There's another set of Batman I'm ready to record, so those are coming. I don't know that I can painfully. I mean, I will watch at least the first couple of X-Men 97s. I don't know how I'm going to be able to handle it or not because I don't have faith. I just don't. Those two shows are so epic good. I just have a hard time believing that the modern group of creators can do them justice. That's kind of where I'm at. So. Shield Wall has the hot take of not liking the D&D cartoon. Okay, well, I mean, it depends because I mean, if you're not D&D me friends played had much better stories. Well, no, yeah, I got you. Okay, that's fine. So I mean, it was just like it's a cheesy cartoon, and it kind of like it was like a bridge for the normies and fun and whatever. So yeah, I get you. No, I mean, like it's not good. I mean, even Gray was just saying, yeah, it doesn't hold up particularly. I agree 100% with all that. So.
You might like for something animated D&D, the Dragonlance movie.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, Zach did a video. Zach did a video on the 18.99 cancellation. So go over to there. Zach will have the lowdown for us, guys, so we can catch up on what's going on. Yeah, Junior says it was also canceled. Yeah, Zach's broke the story. Well, you know what? One of us will. That's a good thing about this, man. It's a good thing about that. So. Thanks, though. Good job, Zach. Can't keep up with all the content. It seems like a full-time job. I can only run at so many, at 1.5 to 2 speeds to catch up. So I'm still hours behind on everybody's stuff.
I hear you.
I just finished watching the great Thinking Critical stream that you were on, Gray. You guys were talking comic books of last year, so that was a great stream to check that out over on Wes's channel. That was fun. That'd be fun to do.
I couldn't believe he reached out. Yeah, that was awesome. I think maybe a couple of people he couldn't find, so I was like a last minute addition. But I've been watching that for a couple, not for over 1 year now. It was Maxfield Von Priestley that got me into that channel because he was on there too. And it's such a good comic book talk. It's so much fun. What is it, Pops? Every Saturday. I'm not sure the time. It's morning American time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's just there really is some good love for, and again, like we were saying very early on with some of the stuff, it's like you can find something good. It's just that you have to sift through so much more stuff than you used to find something good, and then you got to sift through this much more to find something great. But there is some that's out there. It's a lot more work. So back to the TV comment that I dropped. Yeah, I know, good stuff, huh?
Mark Silvestri's Batman and Joker deadly duo. Look at the art in this, unbelievable.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that is definitely that looks beautiful.
Well, Silvestri is a great artist.
He's been working on it, for years, hasn't he, Pops? I don't know if you heard about this. People were saying it's never going to come out, but it's finally coming out.
So, is
Geeking
there
out,
any
sorry.
TV? Is there any real TV shows or anything like that that you're remotely looking forward to? I mean, it's tougher to get TV because there's not really a great resource with a ton of these dates and lists and they all change. It's kind of subjective. Is there anything that you're remotely looking to? I'm only like cautiously interested to see what they decide to do with Mandalorian because I think it's a pretty good litmus test to see how much money they want to make. Do you want to keep going down the Baby Yoda thing, or are you actually going to try to make a serious show? That's pretty much my litmus test on that. Loki is to me with She-Hulk. They're like the worst of the worst. Like I can't even imagine how I'm going to get through watching Loki. I'm just so, I don't know. I have such low expectations. Maybe that's the best way to explain it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
That was such a shame about Loki, wasn't it, Pops and Ironcaster? I don't know what you think, but it was such a wasted opportunity. He's a brilliant character. You could do so much with him, and they just ruined it again with the current modern day nonsense.
Yeah, it didn't even make it out of episode 1, where it was just to turn to trash. I mean, first episode 1. I told my wife episode 1. I told her you can't watch the show because it was her. It's her favorite character. I said you can't watch the show. You can't. It's just enjoy what's out there. You love what's there. Just leave that alone. So, okay. So let me see here. Jacob's got to run, so that's cool. So, yes. And by the way, for anybody, if there's any sound that's sneaking through, Ironcaster's nephew is playing with Thomas, and Thomas makes like a toot toot train sound, which, by the way, I think is great. So I'm all about it. I would bring it on. I would bring it on the show and do it on purpose if I was there. So but that's just me. Because that's just life.
I just don't want to go like interrupting the flow of this with just the random in the background. Toot, toot. Like,
hey man, it's freaking great. So,
guys, did you know that Thomas is very popular in Japan? Even now, still, it's huge. Thomasu, they love it. They love it, man.
I'm not surprised about that, considering there's a big love of trains over there.
Thomas has a very universal love with the kids, like going through my own kids and now the grandkids. Thomas is just as popular. It may not be on like a mass scale or like sales volume. I don't know those kind of figures or things like that. But if you got a little boy and he's between 4 and 8, and you're to like roll in there with a present this time, you're solid. You don't have to. There's no fear in that, so you're good. So there's still some love here for that kind of stuff. So.
I miss Ringo. I miss Ringo narrating it. Ringo Starr, all right there, Thomas. How you doing?
I'll go and play some of the old, because they're on YouTube, like the entire seasons of like the Ringo Starr narration. So I'll throw that on for them just to try to like show them a little something. Like I used to watch some of that stuff. Of course, the stuff I watched had George Carlin being the narrator. So
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When they brought it over, when they were doing it when I was a kid, it was part of a bigger show called like Shining Time Station, and George Carlin was in the show as this like basically this like conductor character who would like talk to some kids, and then they would cut over to like a Thomas short. So they made a bigger show out of it there.
Very cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that takes me back, man. My kids were so young when that happened. I remember it happening, but it's been so long ago for me. So that's like a Hunger Game prequel. So that's the thing. I would be down with another Hunger Game film. I have no interest in a Hunger Game prequel. And then of course, first female action hero nonsense. Yeah, I know. A soundbite that lives on forever. But the idea of doing another prequel to another big franchise, I just could care absolutely less about that. I really don't.
I'd watch it if Jennifer Lawrence directed. That's all I'm saying. If she directs, I'd watch it.
Well, she directed the first one, of course. So I don't know if she's going to stay behind the camera or not. So, yeah.
Do you reckon she knows what's going on? Do you reckon she knows this huge reaction? She must do. Yeah.
Yeah, they all know that anyone talking about you're trending is good. So I'd rather watch Gray read Magic the Gathering cards than watch most of these new shows. I'm enjoying this disconnect from base. I reset my study set.
I have a card name. I have the name of like a random character that I want to see some people try to pronounce. Here, I'm going to change my name real quick just to put it on screen. This was a character on a card in Magic.
We're all waiting. We're all saying, "What on earth?" Flub.
Fubble.
All right.
That's what I figured it was.
Dempsey's calling me out, I guess, for Hunger Games love. Listen, I consider it like stupid fun. I don't consider them like great films or anything like that. But I would watch another Hunger Games film. It wouldn't pay for it, but I'd watch it. So I'm with you. So yeah, J-Law stars in every role. Whitechapel say, yeah, good point. Yeah. Thomas the Tank Engine. Let's see. Dress up as Sir Tofen hat at a history attraction where I work. Oh, interesting, Darius. Those are photos that should be shared.
Oh yeah, like it is.
Like pinky fingers from people who owe him debts. I have no idea where Neuhaus is going. Oh, that's great. Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that role, James. That's an Oscar. I don't know why that wasn't nominated that year. There were a lot of snubs for Titanic that year. But yeah, Big Block of Ice did not win. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So
yeah, she got the most important role in the movie, aside from Jennifer Lawrence as the ship.
Actually, Dempsey, what makes my Hunger Games thing even worse is how bad the third and fourth one are, because they split the book up into two parts, and it was just like such a money grab. It was so cheap and cheesy and bad. I am more than willing to admit that. So, and I will admit I have not watched those in quite a while. So, Aguirre, Wraith of God. She directed and starred in it. I don't know what that. I don't even know the film that Nas is referring to that Jennifer Lawrence starred and directed in. So, but Klaus, you know what? She's done so many things. Maybe
it's a bizarre. No, it's a bizarre movie from I think it's the 70s. It could be. What's the German director who often worked with him? He's a little bit crazy. Oh, I can't remember his name, but yeah.
Werner Herzog.
Yeah, that's it.
Werner Herzog. Yeah.
I think it's by him.
Man, I haven't watched that stuff in forever. When I was in college and watched some of that stuff. I watched some stuff.
I've never even heard of this movie, but I love the poster. It's like this dude like looking intensely at it. It's like they got the face of Vigo from Ghostbusters 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Klaus Kinski, who was Nosferatu's avatar, the picture in Nosferatu's avatar. Yeah.
Canoli says he wants the Oppenheimer and Mario. Yeah, we're down with that. Oppenheimer for me, absolutely 100%, and more Mario for Ironcaster for sure. So that's kind of where we're at for sure on those. So let's see. J Law's in 10 Commandments. Well, I thought she wrote it. Was she in it as well? I mean, I know she might have wrote the 10 Commandments. I'm not quite sure.
No. She was the first commandment. Thou shalt have no actors before Jennifer Lawrence.
Great point. Good point. Werner Herzog. Werner Herzog is Jennifer Lawrence's stage name. Very good. Very, very good point. That's freaking great, by the way. That is freaking great. Yeah, Werner Herzog. Oh my gosh, that's great. So yeah, so now there's J Law stuff. Is there really, Bobby? There's another freaking Expendables movie? Really? Oh, okay. Wow. I mean, I guess. Why not? Blow some crap up. Got to be honest. It'll make money because you know what? The more 90s you make it, the better it'll be received. The more 90s you make it. Just blowing crap up with a lot of muscles and men being men and hot women. Blow crap up. That's all you need to do. Yeah.
Well, speaking of more 90s, there's one other movie coming out this year that I think is going to do really well for that similar region.
Okay.
And that's the new Transformers movie.
Oh, yes, The Beast. The Beast.
Ooh, yep. The Beast.
Yeah. So, again, I will be honest because I do enjoy Transformers. And I just can't get into a lot of the newer movies. And I saw the trailer, and it gave me like an inkling of hope. But I will say, probably have to get a streamer. I don't know that I will go to a theater for that. I don't know. So, yeah. So it's funny how much TV we consume. We all watch all this TV, and none of us have really come up with a whole lot of TV that we remotely care about. Like none of us had really a whole lot of anything that we're like, I can't wait for this to drop. Or, I mean, I assume if they can get a Tulsa King season 2 out soon enough, I'm down with that because I'm enjoying season 1. Actually, I loved episode 7. I watched it today. I thought I would do episode 7 and 8 as one video, but there's so much that happens in episode 7 that I have to do 2 videos. There's no way I could split. It's Tulsa King is finally
It's
world
amazing.
building, and finally, I'm loving Tulsa King. It's finally living up to what I hoped for. Because after episode 2, I was like, oh gosh, it fell off so much, and episode 3 was kind of slogging along, but it's finally really getting its legs, and I can't wait to watch episode 8. So I'm going to do my video.
Can I ask you, Pops? Sorry, I've loved it from the start. But what do you think about the comparisons to The Sopranos? Because I think they should keep it separate. The Sopranos is The Sopranos, of course. Tulsa Kings are kind of a little bit similar, but it's its own thing, and it's Stallone, isn't it? It's all about Stallone.
Yeah. So my thing was, they could be the next Boardwalk Empire or Sopranos because those are the creators.
Yeah.
And my big complaint in the first part of the season was there was just too much Stallone and nothing else. Like he was our avatar to go walking around and for things to happen. And if it didn't involve his character, then nothing. There's just nothing there to watch.
Right.
They're finally been world building. So it's been jam packed. There's this big, go back and watch my videos, guys, but there's a big fight that breaks out basically over territory, the nitrous industry. And then since then, things have been going and building and building and building. And then this last episode, of course, went completely bonkers. It was great. So only a couple more episodes left. I know it's been renewed for a second season. That's pretty awesome. But I don't know. I mean, there's going to be some sort of John Wick show that drops this year based on the Continental. I'm down with watching that. So I would say that would be a must watch for me. But again, this is a streaming thing. So I'm down with watching that because it would be free on a streaming service. I can't tell you though that I just like other stuff that I'm just totally, I don't know. No, Darius. No, wrong one.
Just laughing at that.
Yeah, there's a couple of fun horse references and jokes, which actually is kind of fun. So yeah. Okay, so the newest season of Bleach, just finished season 1. I am waiting for that. Okay. All right, so let me throw this out because I'm going to do a video. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it today because it's going to be late after I stream. Plus, I got to check on the farm. But which, by the way, for those of you that came in late, yes, we did get the baby pigs. 5 baby pigs were born on Christmas Eve, so we have 5 Christmas pigs. So, baby Christmas pigs. So, I got to check on the pigs. I watched season 2 of Alice in Borderland. It's on Netflix. Here's my thing. It's kind of like Squid Game, guys. If you like Squid Game, you would like Alice in Borderland. Season 2, and it is rocking and rolling. I'm loving season 2, and then suddenly the end of season 2, I just can't get it. I don't like it at all. I don't like the final episode. They go Matrix, metaphysical, super spiritual.
I haven't seen it yet.
So I'm gonna do a video. And I'm going to get to, I don't know if I'll get to it today or the next couple of days, but I'm telling you what, if you can just like know that the ending's the ending, they kind of leave the door open to another season too. It's like they wanted it both ways. And I'm like, well, then why did you do this? Like, the games are great. And there's a couple of games.
It started so well, Pops, hasn't it? It's got off to an amazing start, season 2. I'm loving it.
It's so good, Ironcaster. It makes me want to check out the manga and the anime. It's so good. The games are so intriguingly interesting. And there's a couple of games that I thought I could be good at playing. And I realized that my strategy would be so off the wall bad. I would be dead within a few minutes of this game. Like it's so interesting to me. I love these shows that are like that. And I'm sure there are others that are like that as well. But yeah, if you haven't watched Alice in Borderland, check out season 1. If you love the concept of the games, at least know that almost all of season 2 is, and then up until the finale. And then the finale gets all strange, and I don't quite understand why they'd want to make that decision. It's a creative decision. It's so weird. So, let's see.
I haven't checked out at all. So
I haven't checked out Bleach at all. I didn't check out Bleach.
Of course,
Alex,
the main problem for you jumping into Bleach is this is effectively a sequel series to something that ran for like 100-something episodes before. So I don't know how well that would work well for you.
Oh, okay. What's it a sequel to?
Well, Bleach.
No. So there's 100 episodes of Bleach before this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy crap. Okay. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon, Dempsey. I'll have to live vicariously through you guys. So sorry about There's no way I could catch up on that. I still have to get through. I'm only a little over halfway through like season 3 of Cobra Kai. I'm still only like halfway. So I'm still catching up on all sorts of other stuff.
Pops, what are you doing, man? Come on, Cobra Kai.
I am doing Batman X-Men animated series every Saturday for you, Gray. I am doing a Talk Hard every Tuesday. I am doing Throwback Thursdays. I am reviewing Tulsa King. I have a slate.
YouTube taking
and
over
I just started
your life,
Watch Your
Pops.
Story. No. It does not take over my life. Ask my wife. I unplugged completely. And Watch Your Story is rocking. We'll have my first episode of Watch Your Story with Stone Loki that dropped on Sunday. And then next one coming this Sunday will be with Saggy Melons. We will talk about drama. Yes. Love my Watch Your Story people. They've been so good. It's been a lot of fun. So.
Yes. Actually, you know what I have been watching that is currently an ongoing show that I think is good? Just for something in 2023 ongoing that I enjoy. And that's the current season of Kamen Rider.
I know.
Kamen Rider Heat
I got to get more into that.
It is a little bit of that similar to Alice in Borderland with like the elimination games, where it's like one part Fortnite meets Squid Games, which is a really interesting choice of combining the two.
Yeah, I'm down with the game stuff. I really am enjoying that a lot. And Nosferatu, what are you thinking? You think you really? Wrong channel, bro. Wrong channel, my friend. You're not duping me. I know what that is. So, yes, Darius, I do all sorts. I'm enjoying myself, Darius. That's the best way to explain this. Is just I enjoy myself, right?
Good.
So I'm enjoying. So, and Gray, will you appreciate this, Gray? I reread. So I'm preparing for what's going to happen with Warner Brother Discovery. So I wanted to reread Flashpoint. So I'm going to do a review of the Flash, and I watched the animated show. So I'm going to do a review on that. And reading a lot of New 52 because I know that's where they're pulling their material from. Not because I know New 52 is good, because I know it's crap. And I'll be doing videos on how New 52 Superman is a freaking disaster, man. I have no idea what kind of crack these people were smoking. And I'm balancing that with some good stuff that's modern, trying to catch up because I know things are good and I just got to catch up. So,
Pops, if you have time, mate.
66 episodes of Bleach. Holy freaking crap! I didn't even know.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
But Dempsey's been recommending that to me for a long time. I started watching it, and it was just like, it is really good. It's like, okay, this is intriguing, but how many episodes are there? Like Ironcaster was saying, it's like, man, there's no way, is there? It's not as bad as One Piece, but it's a lot of episodes.
A literal 1,000 episodes.
Over 1,000.
Yeah.
Plus, 15 movies at this point.
Oh yeah.
Is New 52 Batgirl trash? Oh, Matt, first off, thank you, Matt, for being a member, being with us, my friend. I have not even dove into the Bat family stuff on New 52. Because right now I'm focusing on the only reason I want to read New 52 is because I know that's what Warner's been pulling their stuff from. And which, by the way, Gray, I didn't realize. I remember reading that too. It's what's weird. So in New 52, Jeff Johns does Justice League. And that's where they snuck the Shazam stuff in. They didn't even give Shazam his own freaking title. It's like the backstory, and then the movie was lifted directly from those issues. And then all they did was just remove Black Adam because they did The Rock didn't want to be a part of it with Shazam. Yeah. He wants to be for Superman. And I'm like, I thought Shazam, because forever I was looking up the issues and I couldn't find them and realized they're the backstory to the Justice League. Yeah, so there are pieces in New 52 I think that are good. I will do videos for those that want to know something that's decent, but I can tell you that it is usually like these 5 issues. Okay, next up will be because it's just really, really, really rough time for that era. So,
Pops, I dropped out. Sorry, I dropped out of 52.
Yeah, what do you say, Ironcaster?
What about Green Lantern then during the New 52? Have you checked that out?
I'm only a couple issues in. I will tell you that it's okay so far because they pretty much kept Hal, and Sinestro. Like, it's weird though because how does it? So here's my thing with Flashpoint, and I don't quite understand the history here. And I would have to probably talk to someone like Wes that would take me back to exactly what happened because I don't remember. It was like we do Flashpoint. and then Flash resets everything. But they picked and choose like how it affects everyone. Like, so when you're reading Action Comics, it's like a 20-something-year-old Superman, but then you're reading Justice League, and it's like the first 5 years when they get together, and then you're reading Green Lantern, and he doesn't have a ring, but you don't know why. It's like it's such a hodgepodge mess with no editors and no direction. That was the biggest take home I can tell you from where I'm at right now in my new consumption. I know enough about the Bat family stuff. I'm just staying clear of all that right now because at least I have read some of that a lot more. I want to get into some of this other stuff I hadn't read, but like the first 5 issues of Aquaman are fine. It's called The Trench. If you remember, there was a movie, they were going to do a movie called The Trench, right? And it's like a horror movie, right? Because there's these piranha xenomorph creatures that just come out of nowhere. I can't quite see a movie, but it's not a terrible story. It's just 5 issues or 6 issues long, and then it gets more Aquaman stuff, and I just don't care. Aquaman stuff to me usually is not very good. He's at least drawn right. My biggest issue with the Flashpoint, Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, I think is what it's called, right? Paradox. The animation is freaking horrible. Oh my God, I can't stand the animation in this show. Warner does good animation too. So frustrating.
Wasn't part of that reason why they were doing that was because Jeff Johns was also like in charge with the movies, so he was kind of picking and choosing what got made.
Oh yeah. But again, it just shows. Again, I'm going to do videos on some of this stuff, like because I know people, because he comes back around and does a segment of the Superman title. But my first impression with these issues, even in Justice League, is does Jeff Johns hate Superman? Because he treats Superman with such disrespect in such a weird way, even in the Justice League. Things like that. There's like a Cheetah story arc where Cheetah actually hurts Superman, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't get that. Like, it makes no sense to me. It just seems like a contrived reason to make Superman Cheetah hybrid for 2 issues. It's just dumb. So, and yeah, Chris is basically warning me off the Batgirl as she becomes like Antifa Batgirl. Yeah, I can see that. All right, so I wanted to see this because this is an interesting point, Chris. I am totally down with giving that a shot. Real Ghostbusters on Netflix. I'm going to give it a shot. Again, I watched the He-Man, hated it. I would give a Real Ghostbusters a shot, see if I liked it or not. I'm down with that. It's on Netflix, so it's free. So I'm down with that. So what do you think? Would you watch the Real Ghostbusters, Gray?
I didn't watch the original, so probably not. No.
Oh, okay.
How about you, Ironcaster?
See, I really did. I think. Oh, I can't remember hearing that there was something coming, but is this just a continuation of the cartoon, or is this?
I don't really know much about it. I got to be honest. But this, again, I have long said that the Real Ghostbusters and the Men in Black cartoons have so much rich material for films. They are irresponsible for not creating adaptations. They literally are irresponsible. Like, it is criminal that we don't get good Men in Black content whenever the cartoon was so freaking good. It's so rich, full of interesting villains and stuff. And the same with the Real Ghostbusters. It does not have to all be about the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It doesn't all have to be about the exact same thing. There are tons of other stuff in there that was interesting. So,
can I ask you guys what you thought of Afterlife? Sorry, Ironcaster, to cut you off. What did you guys think of Afterlife? Because I finally got to see it just around Christmas. It came out streaming in Japan.
Good for you. Glad you liked it. I did like it. I called it the most successful passing of the baton I had seen in a while. And even though the movie had a lot of flaws and a lot of issues, I came away. First off, I'm sure I teared up. I don't think I cried. I might have leaked for a moment at the end of it in the theater because I just did not expect to see the final scene the way it was presented. I hated the fact that they just showed up out of nowhere. Yeah, and Bill Murray to me just seemed like he phoned it all in. But the ghost scene and the sentiment, and then with the kids, it just reminded me of my own kids. It really hit me in the feels. Like, it was really, I loved it probably more so because I'm just a huge Ghostbuster nut, and I felt like it was a good passing of the baton, even with the credit scene and stuff like that. Did you feel pretty similar? You're nodding, so I'm assuming you felt pretty similar.
Yeah, no, I thought the movie was fantastic. It worked as well as any baton passing could be. There's a lot of things I really liked about it. I thought there was like an issue with the end with kind of the ghost passing on. It's like, well, wouldn't he be caught in the trap too? But that's a whole like that's nitpicking. But there's so much I enjoyed about it. It tied into the first one in a way that didn't like feel insulting. In a way I wasn't expecting at all. And what was kind of funny was I was talking with a coworker who was like really into studying like ancient Sumerians. So he was like, yeah, all this stuff like really matches up well. So he was I got someone who's really into the history of it, who was able to say, yes, this all checked out in a way that worked out right.
Gray, you felt the same way?
I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was so much fun. You know, remember when movies are fun and, like you say, very touching at the end, and a nice family theme to it, which is important.
Yeah. Yeah. I really couldn't agree more. I really do enjoy it. So, and then Dempsey's bringing up. We talked about it very briefly early on, and that was Adam Warlock for me. I saw the Adam Warlock design and I just cringed. I have no idea what they're trying to accomplish. Obviously, Thanos is not around. Dempsey, I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't know what they're doing. I don't think they care about comic books. I don't know. I really don't. He could have easily been in Guardians 2. It just makes no sense not to have him there. To me, it's just one of those missed opportunities to make some money, sell some action figures, make another character that would have been lived on. He could still be around with a gauntlet. They have to explain it all the time, but he could be there. So, yeah.
What's really interesting is this week I'm on my Friday comic stream. This week we're actually starting to delve into the Infinity Gauntlet story. So we're actually kind of like coincidentally going into that now. So it's going to be interesting, I think, to kind of get a little bit of perspective from some people there who aren't familiar with it and only really know the movie. But yeah, no, it's really unfortunate because it's like, well, what's the point of bringing in Adam Warlock if there's no Infinity Gems anymore? Like, what's the point?
He just doesn't matter in the grand scheme of stuff for me. I just got to be honest. I didn't care for Infinity Watch. I didn't care. I just don't care. And Infinity Gauntlet involved so many characters they didn't own. They did the best they could, and it was good enough. So what are we doing now? I don't know. Here's our answer. Chris says that the Ghostbusters cartoon is sort of an amalgam between the original and the Afterlife. So that's actually a great move on their part. If they really bring in passionate creators like they did on Afterlife, and they can really kind of create an animated project to move forward to set up another movie, that's great move. So Matt also loved Afterlife, similar. And we were definitely the target audience for that success. I really do agree. So, and Chris also says he liked it. Yeah, there's some G4 comment. No, it's just keying everybody up here over Frost. There's all sorts of shenanigans going on. ZBR's in the house throwing around some high fives. Hey, ZBR, hope you're doing all right. Eternity got turned into a genie, so we'll know what kind of idea. Galactus Clouds, Woolmon power. Yeah, I know. It's just such a freaking mess. I don't even know what to say. And I will say this is the biggest thing too, Gray. Whenever I was reading the New 52 Shazam issues that are in the Justice League issues, how accurately they lifted stuff from the comic book. Like, holy crap, Jeff Johns literally wrote intricately these scenes and stuff like that. There's so much. And I'm like, oh crap, this just shows how. And then when you read the Justice League, because I will say the first few issues of that New 52 Justice League, the first 4 or 5 issues is basically what the Justice League movie was supposed to be, except we got Darkseid. We didn't get the stupid side story. We got boxes, we got all the stuff, all the setup of them coming together. And I read it and I thought to myself, we didn't need to have a Green Lantern movie for him to be in this story. Like they could have had him in the story. Like he's relevant. It just I don't know. It just I read it and I could see positive, and I had other things that just made me angry, and it was an emotional roller coaster. My wife was like, "Are you okay? Are you done?" I'm constantly like on the phone, off the phone. I'm reading this, I'm reading that. I go to the other room. She's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm reading comic books that are not really good." And then I'm reading good ones. And then I'm getting mad. And then I see movies that were made from books and I'm getting madder. So I have to take breaks. I have to go to the different company and read something else. Yeah. So that was what
Pops,
was
can
happening.
I ask you? Can I ask you why? Why are you reading New 52? Because I've got a confession to make. I dropped out of comics for a long time. I didn't come back until Rebirth. I was just out of it, so
Okay.
I missed it all.
Yeah.
Rebirth was good.
Well,
Yeah.
because it just seems like that's where they're pulling so much of their material from for
okay.
Superman, for most of their products. And with James Gunn's comments about wanting to do a young Superman, it pointed very much to New 52 Action, which was written by Grant Morrison. I'm like, okay, well, Grant Morrison's a great writer. It's going to be okay, right? That's what they're going to do. James Gunn sees the value. And I'm reading the first few issues, and I'm not disliking it. Again, my hang up is I don't understand why Flashpoint puts Superman young like this. It just kind of doesn't make sense to me. And then it creates a contradiction with the Superman main title and the Justice League Superman. They're like three different Superman that are all happening at the same time. But I wanted to actually reread some of this content, thinking that they're going to pull from it. So I would at least have a fresher memory or fresher exposure. I'm going to have to jump ahead in some of them because I know Scott Lobdell takes over the Superman title and it's freaking garbage. I'm just going to jump ahead to when like John's on it and stuff like that because I don't want to waste that much time in my life reading this many issues. Anyway, Nelson Studio hopped in here as well. Hope you guys are doing well. Again, folks, if there's any last minute things that you guys want to know that you want to see in 2023 that you're looking forward to, that kind of thing. Well, Nelson, I know they're going to do another Batman movie. As much as people wanted to see it make $1 billion, and as many issues as I and Gray have discussed about having that movie, we all can agree that it was a fun movie in some ways and a good portrayal of Gotham in ways, that a Penguin had a lot of positives to build on. So it's hard to imagine Pops losing Michael. Oh, well, there he is. It just, I mean, I don't. So here's the thing. It's you kind of have to get used to how I lose my cool. Like it's just different. Like I don't rant and rave like I face palm a lot. I get real quiet. I get real like subdued.
I've seen a Pops rant on a video. I've seen definitely one Pops rant, and it was surprising. It was like, who is this man?
I have been broken a couple. Kenobi was probably one that broke me pretty bad.
That
Kenobi was pretty rough. Kenobi was really rough. I got really angry. I got really hurt, I think was a better way to describe it. I felt hurt. I can tell you there's no video, but I can tell you that's how I felt with Loki. When I watched the Loki for the first time, I was hurt. I was in pain. I was mad and angry. Like, you throwing away 20 freaking movies. Oh my God. So, yeah. All right. I've rambled on, and everyone we've probably drug off topic. I don't know. We ended up down New 52 at one point. So. Oh yeah, the Joker musical. I don't know. I'm so skeptical of that kind of thing.
Is that even real? I don't know.
I don't. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the DC recasting is a good move. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not with you there, Dempsey, either though. I can easily write a Kingdom Come movie. They want a young Superman, I can easily write one. It would have been simple to make Henry Kingdom Come. I mean, this is not rocket science to have old and new characters in the same. It's just not complicated. I think it's swollen head syndrome. I'm just gonna.
You could be in it, Pops. You could be in Kingdom Come as the pastor, as the main character.
You know what? I would be probably in the Marvels as well. I could be the guy witnessing everything going around. I could be that reporter. I could be in the role in a couple of these comic books. And I wouldn't even mind doing like the motion cap for Earth X. I could do Earth X and be the X-51. I could do X-51 and motion cap. Hey, listen, Marvel DC, if you need a knowledgeable person who can really kind of tweak some of this crap for you, I'd be more than happy to consult for you. For a very, price of my mortgage, and we'll just call it good. Just pay my mortgage off, and I'm good. So, all right, listen, we're gonna go. Great, thanks for hopping in, man. It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Loki had stuff going on, and we went on talking about some different movies. Really didn't have a lot of TV to offer up. Chris had the best suggestion with the Ghostbusters thing. I didn't really aware of that one. That was one that I think I actually am kind of looking forward to now. So yeah, there's a few things out there.
I don't know what's coming out. I really don't know TV wise.
Yeah.
It's a really unfortunate because it's hard to say based on because a lot of the studios like to keep things close to the chest and they kind of hold off on telling us what's going on with this stuff. And TV is just in a really kind of rough place because with all the streaming, This stuff, they drop it all at once, and it just kind of is out the window within about a week or two. So it's all come and gone. Half the shows came out last year. I forgot even existed. I almost forgot Halo came out last year.
Oh my gosh, you could not
The
forget that.
memories-
It's like a
the
milestone
memories
for us. It's a milestone. It brought us together. The idea that Strawberry Spartan's coming back for season 2 just brings me joy, and I wish I had an editor who could go and do like a master clip of like this Mystery Science Theater that we turned that show into, because our videos, because I did a little editing on one of them here recently, and it just brought me happiness and joy just listening to the Mystery Science Theater version of this garbage crap show. So. Well, listen, before we go, let me say thank you to everyone. Here's one of my thank you videos. I haven't played much, but it makes me happy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with So I Married an Axe Murderer. This is my thank you video from that.
Well, it's a well-known fact, Sonny Jim, that there's a secret society of the 5 wealthiest people in the world known as the Pentaverate.
So who's in this Pentaverate?
The Queen, the Vatican, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, and Colonel Sanders before he went tits up.
Dad, how can you hate the Colonel?
Oh, I hated the Colonel with his wee beady eyes and that smug look on his face. Oh, you're gonna buy my chicken. Oh.
You know, the Colonel hated
hanging out
the KFC into.
Oh, I'm sure it was blasphemous and that kind of thing. So, but thanks to Gray, thanks to Ironcaster, thanks to all of you, Chris, hanging down mod work in the chat for us. Some of the others of you that are here all the time, man, I appreciate you so much. You guys are freaking amazing. Supporting me in so many different ways, supporting the channel as members, and just in just so many different ways. Like I can't thank you enough. I'm having a lot of fun, and that's the most important thing. I think when you do this, you just got to really enjoy it. And 2022 was a great sort of like proof of concept. Like, oh man, I can actually do just comic book talk, like hang out at like 90s comic book shop stuff, and this can do like people want to do. Okay, yeah, I could do that. And now that I've incorporated like What's Your Story and some other stuff that are like passions of mine into it, and I'm like, no, I'm good. So, but we will go out. Another great moment from 2022. I think it's fitting that we'll go out with this and share. For any of you who have missed it, and Ironcaster is in amongst the club. He's in the Padawannabe club, but we have to play the OG. We're going to go out with the OG. Hail to all of you. Thank you again. Talk hard. Be blessed. And if you run across some 1980s gum, make sure you film yourself chewing it and take the Padawannabe challenge. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so I stacked all the pieces here. We're gonna.
Oh, he went for the hardcore. I wish I could see Loki's face.
Wow.
Padawannabe is the boss.
You're the boss, brother.
You're the boss. We're clipping this. This will be a new clip.
It's like tasting Pop Rocks with no pop.
Pop Rocks with no pop. Holy
And there's no
cow.
There's no way that's gum anymore.
It's just no taste at all.
There's no. It still tasted like chewing gum, but there's.
No, you're a soldier, brother.
It just turns to dust. There's no.
All I can say to that is,
not staying
ooh-ah.